Okay, I did not think I was going to be making a video on a game that's not even out yet, but this trailer dropped and there is so much to talk about. I could probably make this video like 30 minutes long if I really wanted to, but I did not have the time for that. So yeah, Eleon Adventures, I believe that was how it was pronounced, was Eleon. They just dropped like their big main official trailer. I'm going to go through it and just kind of point out a bunch of things I see. And the first thing is I'm actually going to jump all the way to the end of the trailer because give context to things that I'll bring up later. So yeah, you have the release date, which is February 28th of next year, 2026. So that's very exciting. That is honestly not that far away at all. But in this last segment of the trailer, I'm going to slow it down quite a bit. You see the normal forms of the starters here and a pretty basic environment and also, you know, whatever this thing is. And then the video glitches out and then we get sent to a different environment, dimension, world, whatever this is, that is more taken over with nature, with fauna, plants everywhere, and the starters' designs have changed, and to me they feel a lot more simplified, a lot more, I don't know, like maybe they haven't taken on, like maybe they haven't adapted to the humans and whatnot, because you look at the standard forms, especially like the fire type, it's standing on 2 legs and whatnot. I mean, this could all mean nothing and I'm just spouting nonsense, but in this one they kind of feel a bit more primal, a bit more like, you know, just nature is taking over and there's not human life here. Maybe, especially the fire guy because he's on like all 4s here. And then let me just skip ahead a bit. And then there's this other world which is clearly much more sci-fi, technological, and the designs for the starters have changed even more so. And when I look at these, I'm thinking the fire type, with how the flames on its head have become a lot more sharp and jagged, and just the color scheme in general, it feels like it's now become an electric type. And then the water type clearly feels like more of a toxic poison kind of typing, and then the grass type appears to have become some sort of like maybe steel typing or something, because those look like power cables tied on the back of it. And I think what's happening here is this could be like a future or a digital adapted world or something, where instead of, you know, just natural fire, we now have artificial heat being provided by electric energy, like in a, like let's say like an electric stovetop or something, where it's just like a flat countertop that just heats up with electricity, something like that. And then in the case of water, maybe it's been polluted and now it's toxic, and then nature no longer existing and being taken over by steel, electricity, and metal and whatnot. That's what I feel like is going on here. And that's kind of my theory about this game so far, is I feel like there's going to be some inspiration from Scarlet and Violet, where you have like the past and the present, but in this game it's more so just the digital world being the future and everything's just like digitized and maybe all, I don't know. Yeah, we got like the digital world here and then the world overrun by nature. It's a lot more, you know, natural, primal, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's the main thing that really interests me, is all these forms of the starters and different worlds or dimensions or whatever. But anyway, getting to the actual video now, and I've already been yapping for like 5 minutes. So yeah, they show off a bunch of their environments. Very pretty looking. You get the starter select screen. Got a new hedgehog Eleon here. And whatever this building is, well actually it's this building. Then we got these 4 banners that could represent like factions, groups, I don't know, or maybe they're just like the well-known legendaries, like the 4 legendary, like the box legends or something, could be what these 4 are. Then we got this character and this character who's dead. They're not dead. I don't actually know if this is meant to be a bad guy or not. I think in the context of her being laid on the floor like that, I think that's a bad guy. once again, it's like every frame there's something new to talk about. So on the bottom here, we got some new Eleons never seen before, like whatever number 5 is, number 2, and number 4, which appears to be an evolution to the water starter. I don't actually know if that's the mid stage. It looks like a mid stage, but it could also be a final stage. I don't know. And then we have defeat Violet in a battle and reach waypoint. That sounds like it would probably be a story mission. Another new Eleon there. Yeah, the environments in this game are very beautiful. I really like this environment with like just this skull looking thing. Bunch of new Eleons here. Kind of hard to get a good look at them. There's like something that kind of looks like a skull here. This guy who's in a fighting pose, and this thing that I believe is a shiny. Or in this game they're called Radiance, I think. We got a crab Eleon here. We got this little fella. Once again, environments are very pretty. More story quests. Defeat Erica and reach waypoint. Sounds like a story quest, I don't know. Even more Eleons, this like glass fish thing. This thing that looks like the evolution of that guy in the fighting pose in the autumn area. Number 4, 5, 6. I don't know what these things are, but I like them all. And then this one where I'm actually zoom in on this one because it's a little hard to see. We got like a giant palm tree. Let me go back. Got like a giant palm tree guy. I want to see more of that fella. He looks funny. And then yeah, there's so many of these little doors, these gates with the hexaplate emblem on them. We don't really get to see what they are, what they do. I would love to know because that's something that's definitely a mystery about this game that I'm very curious about. And then this shot. So many Eleons here that I don't recognize that are new. Once again, big door with the hexaplate thing going on. That's another thing this trailer doesn't show. I don't know if what I'm looking at could be some kind of gym equivalent, because that's another thing we don't really know a whole lot about, is how do gyms work in this game? What is the equivalent of gyms in this game? Like, this to me looks like it would be a gym equivalent in a big city, and this is clearly meant to be a store here because it looks like a little shopping basket thing. I don't know what this is on the left though, but unless this is just like a hangout hub area or something, I don't know. I have no idea. Then you got a bunch of players and even more Eleons. This one over here is definitely an evolution of Morpher, and this guy, which we see later. And let me just go back a little bit. This guy with a really cool tail. I like that. Oh, and here's the place we were just looking at, but in the daytime, which looks drastically different actually. I like that a lot. And then yeah, there's a whole quest system, which you could argue makes the game feel even more like a simulator or something, but let's be real. Isn't Tales of Tenorio doing the same thing? And also this just kind of adds replayability, so you know what, I ain't gonna complain about it. I also like the little, I already forgot this thing's name, Venuki, I think. Very nice artwork this game has. We got a whole bunch of quests and things to collect. Okay, here we are. Okay, so you got a Phaleon, which was one of those new ones we saw earlier. But this interests me. So, you know, you have all your hexaplates. You got normal hexaplate, alpha plate, speed plate, divine plate, omega plate, delta plate. Then you got hexaplate, antispace, omega plate, antispace, delta plate, antispace, divine plate, antispace, alpha plate, antispace. So it definitely seems like there's different worlds or something that we're going to be able to explore with whole new plates and different forms of Eleons. At least that's what it seems like to me, because it does seem interesting. Why is there a whole different form of all these plates? And like Antispace, it sounds like a whole different world. It sounds like the Ultra Beast kind of thing. And I love Ultra Beasts, and there really hasn't been a creature capture game on Roblox that has captured the vibe of Ultra Beasts very well. I mean, Tales of Tenorio has the anomalies, but we've only ever really seen like one of those. But also, again, I don't even know if this game is doing anything like Ultra Beasts, but I do like the idea of different worlds and like different forms adapting to those worlds and whatnot. Then we got a whole bunch of berries and fruits and stuff. I don't know what these do. I don't know why there's so many, so that's pretty interesting. And then I'm just gonna slow this down because I am not going through the entire damn thing because there are so many. And it's funny because they very intentionally start this off to where you can't, oh wait, never mind, they did. Oh, there is literally like one frame where you can see. I didn't actually notice this before. Okay, so Venuki appears to evolve into some sort of mage-like character, and then like the Bubble Bear evolves into something crazy down there. Okay, Scoraptor evolves into something pretty insane over there. That's a lot of sharp edges. Well, that's the starter evolutions. I'm not going to go through every little thing. I'll just play through this in like as slow speed as I can. Also, it shows 230 out of 330 here. I don't know if that means Eleons that have been captured or Eleons that exist or Eleons that have been discovered. I don't know, but 330 is insane for a game that's not even out yet. Yeah, there are an absolute crap ton of Eleons that they show here in Silhouette, and I am so sorry for this audio. And then we have rewards for collecting a bunch of different Eleons, and these rewards are pretty interesting. You got Mythical Potion 2, Legendary Potion 2, Shiny like potions. I don't know if those are going to be like buffs or something. Again, kind of feels like a simulator, but who really cares? We have buffs in the other creature capture games. But yeah, you can also get rewarded for collecting shinies in this game, or radiants as they're called. So that's cool. Not a lot of the games seem to really reward you for that, which I mean is kind of fair because they're hard to collect. So hopefully the radiants aren't too hard to collect, since they kind of motivate you to actually collect them. And then we got the PC system here, and it seems like you're just going to have some nice 2D artwork everywhere. No like pixel sprites, no 3D models displayed anywhere. Am I complaining about that? Not really. Frankly, I'm surprised they have classic like 2D artwork for every Eleon, and it looks good too. Then we have a battle here with our Garfield and Mocanter. And then Serpalisk, which we saw earlier, although that's a shiny version it seems. And then another Eleon we saw earlier was Glass Aura, is what this is called, and it seems to be in an offensive form or something, so maybe it has a different form where it doesn't look like this. And then another new Eleon, Merrymoth. Yeah, I really like Glass Aura. This is a really cool design here. I like that a lot. Then we got Shiny Mortera, fighting against Sephrodite, which definitely looks like some kind of legendary. And then we got this crab in a chest, which could be an evolution of that crab we saw earlier. And then back with Mocanter and our Garfield fighting. And then we see this Eleon again, but now we know the name, Nocturtle, and Admiral, which is interesting because I don't see that Eleon anywhere. And then this thing that's on frame for like just a couple seconds, Clustark. This thing looks really cool. I'm gonna go like frame by frame on this so I can actually look at it. Really cool design on this. This definitely looks like it'll be yet another legendary. And then Valagar. Then we got Quinferno, another shiny. Very nice. Everybody loves a good black and insert color shiny. And there's also PvP, which looks like it'll be available at launch. You know me, I'm not all that interested in PvP, but having this at launch is definitely a good thing. Another new Eleon, Pinux. And then a bunch of legendaries. I think we've seen pretty much all of these. I don't remember seeing this key character unless I forgot. This looks like a little mythical or something with how small it is. Then we got a scene here of the player with, I forgot what this character's name is. And then this shot of what definitely appears to be the bad guys coming out of a portal, and perhaps this portal leads to one of those other dimensions or worlds where you find the other forms of the Eleons. Probably would make sense, I don't know. And then even more of the legendary animations, which are incredible looking. And then of course, the end of the video with the release date and showing off the different worlds, the different forms, and whatever this crazy legendary is. Yeah, so this game looks incredible. There is one thing that interests me though, is that in the thumbnail of the video it mentions that some of this stuff is not actually like you're not actually able to do some of this stuff in game or reach some of this stuff in game, and I'm really curious what that means, because there isn't really anything in this that looks like you can't go there, or like a cinematic thing that wouldn't actually be in the game. I don't know, so I don't know what that's about. We'll learn later, I guess. Yeah, this is genuinely one of the most high-polished, incredible-looking games on the platform. Like, this genuinely has the quality of a standalone Steam game worth like $30, and yet it's a free Roblox game, which means there will definitely be microtransactions. And you know what? Who cares? Because with a game like this, yeah, I'll cough up a little bit of Robux. I mean, why not? But yeah, I somehow turned like a 2-minute long video into a 20-minute yapping session, which might be shorter depending on how much I cut out of this. But yeah, definitely very much looking forward to this game. I will be playing it when it releases on February 28th of 2026, which admittedly we all know things can get delayed. We're a little used to that with the other creature capture games, huh? So, you know, things could get delayed, as that is like 2 whole months from now. But yeah, whenever this game does come out, I definitely will be playing it, definitely will check it out. But with that all being said, I will see you again next time.